How much mastery experience can I get from the Trout Derby? Using a treasure-focused approach and fishing all day for both days of the event, can I earn enough mastery experience to justify attending the festival? I love fishing in Stardew Valley, so by extension, I love the Trout Derby. It bothers me that many players consider it a waste of time. Now, I'm not deluded enough to think that fishing could yield as much mastery experience as diving the Skull Caverns, where you can farm hundreds of experience at a time using bombs and explosive ammo. But could it be a viable way to farm mastery experience for those who love fishing and hate the Skull Caverns? The core of my setup involved the pirate perk and luck food to get more fishing treasure chests, and fishing mastery so that I could use 2 dress spinners instead of just 1. I also reset day 19 a few times until day 20 was a positive luck day. I began the first day of the Derby with 1,189 out of 20,000 XP needed to reach Mastery Level 3, and I kept my first attempt at both Derby days. No day resets or second chances for me. Try to guess how much Mastery XP I'll have after 2 days of fishing. To give you some context, it takes 5,000 experience to get from level 9 to level 10 in a skill, and it takes 15,000 experience to get from level 0 to level 10. I prioritize treasure chests because they offer a 2.2 XP multiplier, so a gold rainbow trout, which is usually 24 experience, will get 52 experience when caught with the treasure chests. That's 5 XP less than the 57 XP we'd get with the 2.4 XP multiplier from a perfect catch, but that's a small price to pay for access to the treasure chest loot. Fishing treasure chests can contain skill books, which offer either 100 experience if it's the Jewels of the Sea book, or 250 experience if it's one of the 5 regular skill books. Our dream is to get perfect treasure chest casts, which will give us both multipliers. A perfectly caught gold quality rainbow trout with a treasure chest should give 124 XP. I used Blade's predictor to see when and where bubbles would spawn during the 2 days. I picked farming mastery for the golden animal crackers and the statue of blessings, but I then realized that the statue blessings in my seed were irrelevant. The statue wouldn't give the luck or move speed blessings on either day, and it would only give the infinite energy blessing on day 2 if I used a rain totem, so I didn't bother crafting the statue before the event. I used dress spinners to increase bite rate, as let me hook way more fish in a day, which ultimately will yield more treasure chests than using treasure hunter tackles. I also prepped over 600 rainbow trout bait beforehand, so I wouldn't need to use a bait maker during the event. Challenge bait offers the chance to catch 3 fish at once, which would give a 99% chance to get a golden tag with each cast, but our goal isn't golden tags, it's experience, and challenge bait doesn't give triple the experience. I also ruled out magnets because I wanted to get the same fish on the line every time, so that I could be prepared for the easy rainbow trout pattern. Magnets, by the way, have the same benefit as far as reducing wait time before bite as regular and targeted bait, which is a decrease by 50%. With targeted bait during sunny weather at max water depth, there's a 92% chance of hooking a rainbow trout. With magnet bait, it's 36%. I goofed by picking farming mastery instead of foraging mastery. At the time, I didn't realize how essential skill books would be to my strategy. In hindsight, I think golden mystery boxes offer a huge boon to my strategy, as they're much more likely to contain skill books than regular mystery boxes. Although, if the Statue of Blessings gave luck on both days, that luck buff may still offer more value than the increased chance at skill books from the golden mystery boxes. Regarding mystery boxes, 3 mystery boxes are one of the 10 repeatable prizes for the Trout Derby, so we'll also get some from turning in our golden tags at the end of the second day. Later in summer, we'll crack all of our mystery boxes at Clint's to see if we can get any extra books for extra mastery experience. I'm also hoping to get perfection on this save in under 2 years, so I won't be mad at chests giving me star drop teas, pearls, artifacts I've yet to donate, or anything else that I can put to use. Now, the first bubbles of the day spawned at 7:50 a.m. and would last until 9:30 a.m. The second set of bubbles spawned at 10:30 a.m. and lasted until 12:40 p.m. Those were the only bubbles we got on the first day, but we made the most of them. This is as good a time as any to discuss the rewards for the Trout Derby. They're not overwhelming, like the rewards from something like the Desert Festival, but some of them aren't trivial. The first tag you turn in will always award you a tent kit, which you can use at the end of the first day. I assumed I couldn't use a tent kit between day 1 and day 2 because I couldn't use it before day 1, but I was wrong. Visiting the prize booth during day 1 to pick up the tent kit would probably waste as much time as it would save, though. But I could have brought a tent kit with me to use at the end of day 1 to save that little bit of time. Then there's a set order of 10 prizes, Where you start in the order of those 10 repeatable prizes is randomly determined when you turn in your second golden tag, but they're always in the same order and they repeat. So if you turned in 21 golden tags, you'd get 2 of each, plus that initial tent kit. The rewards worth mentioning are, in order of approximate value, 1 quality sprinkler, which costs 2,300 gold in materials to craft, assuming you're buying the ore and coal, but getting the quartz for free. 2 triple shot espressos, which together would cost 1,500 gold worth of diamonds traded to the desert trader. 3 omni geodes, which can be traded for a desert warp totem at the desert trader. 1 diamond, which can be traded at the desert trader for a triple shot espresso. 3 farm warp totems. 3 mystery boxes, which we will have Clint open for us in the hopes of finding some skill books. 20 deluxe bait, which cost 100 gold each to buy from Willy. 1 crab pot, which would cost 1,500 gold to buy or 3,100 gold in materials to craft, assuming you're buying the materials. Combine these crab pots with the deluxe bait you'll get from the event, and you'll be able to get all the crab pot fish you need for the crab pot bundle, shipping, and cooking without ever buying or crafting a crab pot. The rewards not worth mentioning are a mounted trout wall decoration and a bucket hat. So we'll be walking away from the Derby weekend with more than a dozen triple shot espressos, a handful of farm and desert warp totems, half a dozen crab pots, a pile of deluxe bait, and several quality sprinklers just from turning in the golden tags. Sure, it's not what we get from a weekend in the Skull Caverns, but it's not bad either, right? Okay, let's talk fishing tips. You can left click just before the fishing bar would bounce off the bottom to prevent the bounce, which is worth practicing. Throughout the video, you'll see me do this successfully several times, and you'll see me fail a few times. You can also hold down left click as you pull in a successful catch. This will skip the part where you hold the fish over your head and enable you to immediately recast, although this doesn't work if you found a golden tag or treasure chest. Something else you can do is hold down the left click button while waiting for a fish to bite, and then release it when it rings. Releasing will naturally be faster than clicking and releasing, so you save a tiny amount of time. You also may have noticed that I often cast at an angle. This can be done by holding the relevant movement key after casting. If you're facing up or down, hold A after casting to make the line go to the left, and hold D to make it curve to the right. If you're facing left or right and want the line to go up, hold W, and if you want it to curve down, hold S. What are all these controls I've mentioned translated to controller? I don't know. Frankly, I don't want to know. You'll also notice I'm not doing max casts most of the time. I'm trying to do the shortest cast possible that will still get me to maximum water depth, so I can spend less time casting my line and pulling in fish, as time only pauses during the actual fishing minigame, not before or after. I started the second day of the Derby on the farm, and for some reason, I deposited several items like my rainbow trout and geodes from day 1 into chests on the farm, which will make things quite difficult for future buttons compared to just, keeping all my Derby-related loot together. I also grabbed a desert warp totem and my jades because I figured after turning in my golden tags around 1:30 a.m., I would warp to the desert at 1:40 or maybe 1:50 a.m. and sprint to the desert trader to turn those jades into staircases. I gotta have my staircases. While I waited for the first bubbles to spawn, I went to my original fishing spot by the Mastery Cave and got to work. Let's review my progress so far. On day 1 of the Derby, I caught 109 rainbow trout and 12 other fish. Of my rainbow trout, 58 were iridium quality, 47 were gold quality, and 4 were silver quality. I got 34 golden tags from those 109 rainbow trout, which equals a 31.2% golden tag rate. That's slightly below the expected 33% rate. Out of the 121 fish that I caught in the day, I got 69 perfect catches, 47 treasure chests, and 9 perfect treasure chests. From those treasure chests, I got 4 skill books worth a total of 850 mastery XP, 6 mystery boxes, and 14 assorted geodes. After day 1, I had 8,038 mastery XP, which means that I earned 6,849 XP from fishing. Add in the 4 skill books I found, and I've earned 7,699 mastery XP so far. Now we get to the part of the video I wish I didn't have to show you. I'm not proud of what you're about to see, but I couldn't bring myself to leave it out. It would have felt dishonest. Cue the circus music. Thank you. I talked about small optimizations, but I overlooked a big optimization, which is that I shouldn't try and fight the Dorado when my magic rock candy is burning. In case you didn't know, I did, by the way, I knew. Food buffs continue to wear off while you're in the fishing minigame. Magic rock candy lasts for 8 minutes and 24 seconds, so the minute that you're watching me battle the Dorado, 35 experience by the way, no treasure chests, costs almost 15% of my magic rock candy buff for the day. I could have caught probably 5 or 6 additional rainbow trout before the magic rock candy buff wore off if I skipped this fish. Is it over yet? Nope, it's still going. Some fun facts about the Dorado. Its official name is Salminus brasiliensis. It's not related to any form of salmon despite the name, and it's also called the river tiger. They're found in Central and East Central South America. Is it over yet? Nope, still going. Dorado means golden in Spanish, and it relates to the fish due to the golden reflection off its scales. And it's finally over. Back to our regularly scheduled program. I ate a lucky lunch to try and pick myself back up after the battle against the Dorado, but I certainly wasn't feeling lucky. A bit later, I got this sweet broken trident with +3 attack on it, which would have been quite useful if we found it in the first week of spring. I did a little downcast here so that my farmer's actions would align with my mood. The lucky lunch really wasn't doing it for me. I know, a little energy tonic will lift my spirits right up. This'll get me back on my game. Hey, it actually worked. I did not expect that. I had 2 sets of bubbles on the second day of the Derby, just like the first day, but they were much later in the day. The first set of bubbles spawned at 6:30 p.m. and lasted until 9 p.m., and the second set of bubbles spawned at 10 p.m. and lasted until 11:10 p.m. Overall, I got 7.5 hours of bubbles across the 2 days, 3 hours and 50 minutes on day 1, and 3 hours and 40 minutes on day 2. I'm going to take this opportunity to give you day 2's numbers and totals for the whole Derby, starting with fish and materials and ending with the actual mastery experience totals. On day 2, I caught 108 rainbow trout and 14 other fish. Of my rainbow trout, 57 were iridium quality, 48 were gold quality, and 3 were silver quality. I got 36 golden tags, which equals a 33.027% golden tag rate, dead on for the 33% expected rate. Out of the 118 catches I had on day 2, I got 70 perfect catches, 40 treasure chests, and 4 perfect treasure chests. From those treasure chests, I got only 1 skill book, a copy of Bait and Bobber, worth 250 mastery experience. I also got 2 mystery boxes and 13 assorted geodes. The astute among you may recognize that 108 plus 14 equals 122, not 118, but you'll see where the extra 4 fish came from in a moment. Combining my totals from the 2 days, I had 239 catches. Of the 239 catches, 139 of them were perfect catches, and 13 of those perfect catches had treasure chests. Out of the remaining 100 non-perfect catches, 74 of them had treasure chests, and 26 of them were strictly a skill issue. I ended up with 217 rainbow trout and 26 other fish. Some of the standout goodies from the treasure chests that I haven't mentioned yet include 44 fish roe, 10 golden animal crackers, 5 diamonds, 4 pearls, 3 iridium bars, 3 shrimp cocktails, 2 fish tacos, 1 ruby, and 5 new artifacts to donate to the museum. I also got over 16,000 gold worth of ore and coal. I ended day 2 of the Derby with 14,313 mastery experience, which means that I earned 6,275 experience from fishing on day 2. Add in the skill book and I earned 6,525 experience on day 2. When I brought my mystery boxes to Clint, I got a single additional skill book from them, a Woodcutter's Weekly worth 250 experience. Across 2 days, I earned 13,124 mastery experience from fishing and 1,350 from skill books, for a total of 14,474 mastery experience gained from the Trout Derby. Toward the end of day 2, I found some challenge bait in a treasure chest and decided to try it out. Both casts with it were perfect, yielding 2 extra rainbow trout and 2 extra chubs. At 1:30 a.m., I decided I should probably head over to the prize tent to start turning in my golden tags. If you don't know, turning in golden tags is a painstaking process. You have to turn in golden tags one at a time by talking to the guy, and each time you have to click past the window that asks if you want to claim a prize or receive an explanation. It was around this time that I first started to suspect that I might not have time to turn in all 70 of my golden tags before passing out. Remember how optimistic I was when I grabbed that desert warp totem and those jades this morning? I miss being that guy. I made it to the prize tent about 2 real-life seconds after the in-game time ticked over to 1:40 a.m. It takes 7 real-life seconds for 10 minutes to pass in-game, and I was able to turn in 58 golden tags before passing out. Now, I'm about as good at math as I am at planning, so we can state with complete confidence that I turned in 33.833, repeating of course, golden tags per 10 game minutes. Almost 5 prize tickets per real-life second of in-game time. Does that make sense? That doesn't matter. Which means I needed to arrive at the prize tent a second before the in-game time hit 1:40 a.m. instead of 2 seconds after. As far as the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young boy named Buttons and his dreams of staircases, I probably needed to get to the prize ticket booth by 1:20 a.m. Oh well. I've realized several things I would do differently the next time I try this challenge. I would pick a seed that would both have better bubbles during the event and enable me to get +1 luck from the Statue of Blessings on both days. I'd be interested in finding a seed with a frenzy on one of the days, as that would enable me to use magnets instead of targeted bait, during the frenzy at least. I would also go the Joja route so that I could get to Ginger Island before the event. The biggest benefit unlocked via Ginger Island is the auto hook enchantment on a fishing rod, which would eliminate tons of time lost due to my poor human reaction time. I would also be able to pan up 2 lucky rings, which seem like the only rings that would have any benefit whatsoever towards what I'm trying to accomplish here. I know I could have farmed those in Skull Caverns, but they're a lot easier to farm by panning at the Ginger Island dig site. I would also save more magic rock candies so that I could have 3 per day instead of just 1 per day. I would make sure to read the Book of Mysteries before the event so that I could get more mystery boxes. And I would get Foraging Mastery before the event as well so that I could get golden mystery boxes instead of regular mystery boxes, as those have a much better chance at giving skill books. I would bring some speed food with me for the run from the tent to the fishing spot in the morning, as that's something I forgot for day 1 of the Derby this time. Finally, obviously, indisputably, I should arrive to the prize ticket booth earlier, probably by 1:10 a.m. at the latest, so that I could turn in all my golden tags. My original plan was to smoke all the iridium rainbow trout to try and make money off of them, but I realized the best way to make money using all this fish and their roe was to just use them as food sources for Skull Cavern dives instead. I hope I've succeeded in presenting the Trout Derby in a new light. Instead of a useless festival, it can be a reasonable source of mastery experience that is more accessible to the average player than the Skull Caverns. You'd be hard-pressed to die while doing it, for example. So, what do you think? Did I fall short of or exceed your expectations? And what do you think I could have done differently? Thanks for watching.